Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with chicken Parmesan Casserole. That's right, I decided to film a new HD version of our incredibly popular chicken dish. This has gone viral on Pinterest, like way viral. So according to my data and also some of my data, this could very well be one of the most popular chicken recipes on the entire internet. True story. All right, I'm going to start with 6 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Now, you want to pick these carefully. Sometimes when you buy the big packages, you get different sized chicken breasts. I would actually go to the poultry department and buy them individually from the butcher. Tell them you need 6, basically the same size. These do not have that little fillet in them, by the way, although that really doesn't matter. I'm going to season these very generously on both sides with salt and pepper. Now, if you want, these are ready to go to build your casserole with. The recipe definitely works great without browning them first, as we did in the original. But if you have a few minutes and you want to make this a little extra special, give them a 2 or 3 minute sear on high heat and a little bit of olive oil, which is going to give them a little bit of color. It's just going to deepen that flavor a little bit. Again, optional, but if you have time, go for it. And of course, anytime you brown some meat, you might as well deglaze the pan with a little bit of water or stock and pour that over your chicken. That's a little extra flavor. Why waste it? All right, so the chicken is prepped. To prep our baking dish, which is a 9x13, I'm going to put in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and a little bit of red pepper flake and brush that on the bottom. If you guys have seen the original video, you remember I did do a little crushed garlic in the base with the olive oil and the pepper. The reason I didn't this time is I had a ton of garlic in my sauce, so I didn't need it. But if you like garlic, you can definitely put some down. Once that's set, I'm going to go ahead and place in my chicken breasts, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. And what I like to do generally is try to keep the thickest part of the chicken breast away from the thickest part of the other chicken breast. So I'm no thermonuclear physicist, if that's even a thing. But I do know if the big thick parts are touching each other, the heat's not going to distribute as evenly as if they're not. All right, once those are in there, I'm going to spoon over about 2 cups, maybe 2.5 cups of a prepared tomato sauce. And like I mentioned, mine had plenty of garlic in it. It also had some nice basil in there, which was a good thing because it's not summer, so there's not a lot of great basil around. If you are making this in August, throw in some freshly chopped basil. It will be even better. So once we spread the sauce as evenly as possible over the top, we're going to go ahead and put on half the Parmesan cheese and half the mozzarella cheese. And you know me, I use the real stuff. All right, so I'm going to sprinkle on the Parmesan. I'm going to sprinkle on half the mozzarella. And it looks weird because I'm using the really nice fresh mozzarella, which is almost impossible to grate. So it basically kind of shreds and balls up on the grater, but that's okay. So again, when it comes to the amounts of cheese on the blog, we're dividing that in half. Half the Parm and mozzarella goes on now, half goes on the top. All right, so once half our cheese is down, we're going to dump over a 5-ounce bag of croutons. Ideally, they're a small cube crouton. Ideally, they're, high quality, all natural. You don't want any weird artificial colors or flavors or ingredients. These particular ones I'm using were just lightly flavored with garlic and herb. So after the croutons are on and pressed down firmly into the sauce and cheese, we're going to top that with the other half of the mozzarella and then the other half of the Parmesan last. And that is ready for the oven. All right, that's going to go in a very well preheated 350 degree oven for, it depends, between 35 and 45 minutes depending on the size, the shape, the temperature, etc. regarding your chicken breasts. So don't go by time, go by temperature. I like to pull mine about 155, 160. They're going to continue to cook. All right, so mine took 35 minutes. And as you can see, they were certainly up to a proper temperature. Of course, you're going to let this sit at least 10 minutes before you serve. All right, your food needs to relax a little bit. If it's too hot, people just aren't going to appreciate your awesome cooking skills. And to serve, just find the edge of the chicken breast with your spoon. Of course, if you cut this up, it doesn't matter. But I like to serve 1 breast per person. And there you go, chicken Parmesan Casserole. That, all false modesty aside, is a genius dish because it's so simple, so easy, and really does mimic the taste and texture of a chicken Parmesan. The croutons are kind of a split personality. The bottom half, the half touching the chicken, soak up all that delicious tomato sauce and juices from the chicken as it cooks. The top half of the crouton, on the other hand, gets all crunchy and caramelized with that cheese, and it just works so well and so much easier than traditional chicken Parmesan. So if you're one of the few people in America that has not tried this yet, I hope you do. Head over to foodwishes.com for all the ingredient amounts and also a ton of information regarding cooking times and the differences between this and the original version. So go check that out. And as always, Enjoy.